tutorial, I want to show you everything I can about graphing something that's written in point slope form. So point slope, if you remember, it's y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. And this would be describing a line that goes through the point x1, y1 and has a slope of m. Okay, so for example, if I had something like y minus 2 equals 4 times the quantity x plus 3, this is actually going to go through the point negative 3, 2, and your slope is going to be 4. So first, let's practice graphing something given to you in point slope form. So we're going to first find the slope and the point that the line would go through, and then we're going to graph it. So the slope, in this case, here's our m value, so we know that the slope is negative 2/3. The point, it's always x comma y, so we look where the x is right now. Right now it says x plus 4. So the coordinate of the point is always going to have the opposite sign here. So since it's plus 4, our coordinate will actually be negative 4. And then next comes y. So over here with the y, we have y minus 5. The opposite of the minus sign would be a positive sign. So it's going to be a positive 5. So the way that we plot this now is we go and we find negative 4, 5 on our graph. We plot that point. And then from there, we can use our slope to get more points. So negative 2/3 means go down 2 and write 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be a point. You can do this as many times as you want to get as many points as you want. But then you just connect your points with the line. Okay, we know that this continues on in both directions, so I put arrows on the end of my line, and there we go. Let's try another one. In this case, your slope is going to be this value here. It's going to be 3, or you can think of that as 3 over 1 if that helps you for rise over run. Our point, the opposite of negative 1 is a positive 1, and the opposite of a positive 4 is a negative 4. So we have the point 1, negative 4, so that's going to be right here. And to get more points, we follow our slope. Up 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Up 1, 2, 3, over 1. So we can do that as many times as we want. And then basically you just go through, you connect your points, and then put the arrows on the ends to say that it continues forever in both directions. Now, if we want to take it kind of the opposite direction, if I give you the graph and you want to write the equation of the line, there's kind of two options here. First, let's go through and figure out where these points are. So this is the point negative 7, 5. So I'm going to label these negative 7, 5. And this is the point 5, 8. So remember, the important parts of point slope is that you have a point and that you have the slope. So let's also go ahead and calculate the slope. So to get from this point here to this point, what's our rise? We go up 1, 2, 3. So far for our slope, it's going to be 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 3 over 12, we know that reduces to 1/4. So our slope will be 1/4. So for the formula, y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. First, we're going to put in the slope. So 1/4 will be our slope. And we know it starts with x in here and it starts with y. Now we have to figure out what goes here. So if I'm going to use this point here, the negative 7, 5, first, the x coordinate is negative 7. That means we have to do the opposite. And here, we're going to have to add 7. And then over here, positive 5 for my y. That means we would have y minus 5 over here. So this is one option for an answer. That's if you use the first point. If you use the next point, the 5, 8, well, in this case, it would be, since you have a positive 5 for the x value, you would have x minus 5 inside the parentheses. You would still have a slope of 1/4. And then over here, your y value is a positive 8, so you would have y minus 8. Okay, we'll do one more example. So writing the equation in point slope form for this, first of all, this is the point 5, negative 7, and this is the point 6, 2. And you can use whichever point you want. The slope means from here, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and over 1. So our slope is 9 over 1, or just 9. So in this case, your two options, if I'm going to start with this point first, I would have 6 minus 2, because it's a positive 2 for my y, equals 9 times the quantity x minus 6, since it was a positive 6 for the x. The other alternative answer, if you would use this point down here, you would have to have y plus 7, since it's a negative 7 for my y, equals our slope times x, and then it's minus